What's up YouTube, Dylan here. In today's video we'll be showing you a quick and easy way to set up an off-road diesel fuel station at your farm. We've been running this setup for a few years and our storage tank is full of algae and our uptake was also sucking air. So it's time to tear it apart and do a quick rebuild. So the first step in that process, we're just power washing all the dirt and grime off of two 55-gallon barrels. When we were finished washing them, we shook them out upside down to pour all the water out. We also gave them a few days to dry back out before we refilled it full of fuel. The setup here consists of two 55-gallon barrels, one to transport fuel and the other to store fuel. Now that we have 50 gallons of diesel in the drum in the bed of the pickup truck, we'll start a siphon with one of these little jiggler self-starting siphon pumps, and then we'll drain it into our storage barrel from the bed of the truck. The uptake to the fuel pump starts with a small fuel filter. This came with our fuel pump and it doesn't exactly fit the size PVC we're using, so we just slapped a little duct tape around it and jammed it in there. We 3D printed a little plastic cover for the top of the downspout to keep dirt out of the inside of the barrel. We added a 90 to the top of the PVC downspout and then checked it for length. It was initially too long, it's too deep in there, so we had to take it to the bench and trim a few inches off of it. You don't want the bottom of your uptake directly on the bottom of your barrel. You want to give it a few inches for water and solids to collect. The final piece here just connects a piece of flexible vinyl tubing to the PVC uptake. The fuel pump outlet is 3/4 inch, so we're using 3/4 ID vinyl and a couple of PVC fittings and hose clamps to connect it together. The downspout is all assembled, so now we need to take it all back apart and prime and glue all the PVC joints. Our old uptake was loose and the glue was no good anymore. That's why we were redoing it in the first place. On the outlet side of the fuel pump, we have a 15-foot 3/4 inch fuel hose and an automatic shut-off fuel nozzle. The fuel pump we're using is the cheap $50 one from Amazon or eBay. If you have the money, definitely spend more on the pump. Our first one of these died after just 2 years. The stable where we store our fuel has no power, so we have two different options for powering our 12-volt pump. We can either use jumper cables and connect it to the battery of the machine that's being fueled, or what we do is have a solar panel on the roof that charges a 12-volt battery, and then we always have power on demand. The one issue with this pump is that it takes a long time and a lot of messing with it to get the system to prime. It works better if you're hooked up to a battery with a lot of power, or if you're hooked up to the machine and you run the machine while you start pumping. Another thing that seems to help is opening and closing the gas nozzle to let the air out as it's priming. It takes a while, but once the system is primed, it runs great. Now we just pull up to the fuel station, flip the pump on, grab the nozzle, set it on auto, and come back when the tank's full. If you have any questions about the fuel station, feel free to post a comment and we'll get back to you. That's all for this one. See you next time.